Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the ESL One Southeast Asian Qualifier quarterfinal game number 2 of today. And potentially our last game if MVP play like they did in game number 1.
Yeah, it just felt like MVP Phoenix. They definitely knew what they wanted to do. They knew what they wanted to accomplish. It was just rough. Like, that was not the best game for first departure.
It's a fresh slate now. First departure. This is where they can make it all come back and it all look absolutely amazing. And we'll all be sitting there going, how do you ever doubt them in game number 2?
I think it was just a lineup thing. It just felt like MVP Phoenix knew what to pick. Like, the AA pick really destroyed them. That was... The AA pick plus... probably actually like all of the picks. They just worked well.
It was the fact that the 3 cores just did so much compared to the other cores of first departure.
Radiant
like the puck didn't do anything really in the mid lane. Like, he had no real presence, and even when their team fight came online, they still didn't have the enough solid control. So got to repair that this time around. MVP Phoenix take out the 2 standards. At least as far as team fight goes, a lot of teams using Undying in the second phase, not normally the first 2 pickup. But either way, Undying and Lash taken out. No Bounty Hunter and no Tusker in this game. But we get Lena, we get Quap, we get a whole bunch of different choices.
I like Lena as an opener. I think that she's incredibly flexible with the way that you can run her. Like, you can choose to run her as a support. Some teams, like I think it was Archon before TI, were running her as like the 1 position for Korok. You can run her as the mid. Like, she's so versatile. In some of my more idiotic pub games, she can be run as the offlaner. Like, that happens sometimes.
What are you doing? Like, just solo, or are you talking like aggro try?
Dude, I don't know, man. Ask the pub players that choose Lena and just decide to put her anywhere.
Radiant team.
He does kind of work everywhere.
Yeah, but Phoenix is going to get such a strong response in return.
Clockwork and Jaro, you get great initiation, a lot of strength behind the heroes.
Take the PL.
And 2 heroes you don't want to come close on. The Phantom Lancer for first departure. Oh, Miracle did play it the other day.
You know you want to, Miracle. Take the PL or the Naga. Don't be silly here.
10 seconds remaining.
That's all this is really coming down to now. Like, if it's not any of those 2 heroes, he's just picking silly. He's not picking silly.
I told you.
And bans out the Ember straight away.
I know he wants
space
to.
For that PL.
I know he wants to pick it. So
then how does MVP Fix approach this? Do you just like... Because what's your PL? What's your PL remover hero?
You don't need one if you get as aggressive as you did last game.
10 seconds remaining.
Like, if they play anywhere close to what they did last game, they can deal with the PL.
5 seconds remaining.
Obviously, because the PL just takes so long to come online.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it might even be, in some ways, harder for the PL to get online than, for example, like, the Morphling just, you know, gets 1 or 2 items, can go, but the PL really requires a build-up, which means that FD are going to have to... First departure, their laning phase just has to go better than it did in the previous games. I was going to say pick Storm again if you're MVP Phoenix, because it just seemed to fit their playstyle, but there are a lot of different QO heroes that you can take. If you're on the Dire side, you can take TA if you want here. That's a QO special. You could take SF, but I think that would just be too crowded in the jungle. Like, I would take something like
Dire team pick.
TA for QO.
It's a very smart ban from MVP Phoenix. It's their 4th one. A lot of the games that have been casting for Southeast Asia, I've noticed PL dual offlane has become a lot more of a thing where you run it with the Dazzle and the PL together. Almost impossible to kill lane. Go for a Spirit Breaker.
Team pick.
You gotta create space. You gotta get space heroes for the PL. That's the thing, is that
I love how that's the phrase you used when it was Space Created that actually started recently doing the Spirit Breaker Lena dual offlane. Stuff's so legit, man.
It's not that bad. Spirit Breaker's just a good hero nowadays. It's so ridiculous. You get a few lucky bashes, you can just completely ruin a laning phase.
10 seconds remaining.
And they didn't even need the bashes. They actually run it with like, both heroes never leave the lane. Like, they both remain there as cores.
Reserve time.
And they just keep harassing the core. So you charge in, get the hit, get the Light Strike Array and Slave, and you normally got enough damage that you find yourself killing almost anyone you hit. And when you hit level 6, it's guaranteed kills.
They banned Darkseer. This is even more Reason to go TA.
Wind Ranger at your service.
They say no.
Radiant team pick.
Unless that's support Wind Ranger.
It's definitely not.
then it's a QO Wind Ranger, the MP Gyro, our offlane clock, and support Earthshaker with +1. I wonder who First Departure get really annoyed at when they play the Spirit Breaker. They don't really have any like perfect stuns for MVP Phoenix.
10 seconds.
They get the
remaining.
Earthshaker Fissure, which could cause some problems for the Spirit Breaker, Shackles.
5
But something as
seconds
quick as like
remaining.
Telekinesis, for example, isn't in their lineup yet.
I think if you're
Reserve
First
time.
Departure...
Winter Wyvern.
Okay, so they take the Winter Wyvern. That's
Dire
not
team ban.
They got a lot more control this game. A lot more options in their laning phase too. As far as keeping the control of the laning phase down. Like SB moving, Wyvern harassing,
10
PL never
seconds
dying.
remaining.
I like the Wyvern pick. I think it goes really well
5
against
seconds remaining.
a lot of the heroes that MVP Phoenix have. And it was a hero that destroyed them last game.
Reserve time.
Vebi's Winter Wyvern. The amount of saves that he had with that Cold Embrace,
Radiant
it's really
team
good against
ban.
Spirit Breaker too.
Surprise March bans out the Witch Doctor as the last one. Are they assuming that the first 3 are all cores?
I think so.
Dire
Lena's
team
really good
pick.
against a Gyrocopter too, because Gyro has such bad stats. You just get an Ag Scepter and you can pretty much blow him up.
Okay. Dropped at the last one, okay. MVP, what you want to do? One last support. I'm still liking the Rubik in this game. Even if life could
10
be a little bit
seconds
harder for
remaining.
him. Guess you get away with something else, like
5 seconds remaining.
if you can get a little greedier, something like a Sand King, for example. Take the jungle,
Reserve
still have the
time.
stun, still have something to combo for a team fight.
SK wouldn't be bad because you don't have a jungle mid hero naturally. I misclicked. That one was a misclick.
Hit the play button. Don't hit the play button.
I misclicked.
Just a public service announcement if you haven't heard it from everyone else yet.
It happens. I misclicked. That's life.
But you were saying something like a Sand King could work, or
Lion.
yeah, not bad against illusion heroes.
I'm trying to think right now. Lion wouldn't be bad.
Good direct control against the PL too.
Thinking of heroes right now that could do this.
They do actually need something like that, like something like the burst damage, where they go with the Rubik.
Radiant
stick
team
with it.
pick.
Queen.
Well, it's also kind of like what we saw in the previous game. It's actually giving me a support. Either support Lena or support Spirit Breaker.
I think the support is a lot more likely. I think it's going to be.
Texas Quap. It's a Quap mid. Okay. Lena off lane?
Please no.
Is that the way to go?
It's got to be it's off lane Spirit Breaker.
Should be. The Queen of Pain versus the Wind Ranger. Wondering like, who was meant to come out on top in that matchup?
Think the Wind Ranger.
Just through early physical harass? Like, is that the way you just dominate the lane?
You have longer range and you can trade hits better with the Wind Run, I think.
Prepare.
I like QO
for
set. What is that
battle.
hairpiece for the Wind Ranger? The Mistral Braid. The mythical one that came out just makes it look so weird.
What is it?
It has the Mistral Braid. Oh, you mean the mythical thing?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the name of it, but it makes it look like I don't want to say Pippi Longstocking. It's like Pippi Longstocking with the tails down.
Hefty.
It's a little too much hair for a woman that's meant to be very aerodynamic.
Okay. You think it gets in her eyes, I mean?
No, I just think it's going to be like dragging it back. Like she'll run so quickly that her neck will just snap because the hair just has so much like drag.
I don't know if that's how
30
physics
seconds to battle.
in Dota work.
I don't... Dude, the physics in Dota is completely broken in a lot of
Okay,
different
but I don't think that physics in real life
even snap
would work
your neck
either.
over
Yeah, I think it would be even less likely in the real world for that to be a thing. Okay, that's actually really cool. So Lubby flies over to eat the tree so that he can't...
He can't clock block in there. But at the same time on the dire side, like you've kind of been just using the...
Oh no, he's stuck.
Wait, he can't get out because
He's gonna have to take a few tower hits.
1, 2.
Oh, that's it. Sweet.
But MVP get both bounty runes again.
Do they really?
First departure has everyone in the Radiant jungle. So Jara's walking up, and now 15 seconds into the game, gets to get the bounty rune.
This has got to stop happening. This changes so much. Oh, it's a dual lane.
And Kuro even managed to
dude, this is what Miracle does in pubs.
Oh, the fissure! No. Miracle hadn't leveled up anything, so he still would have survived. He would have just leveled up Doppelganger and just jumped over it.
This is the Miracle. I ran into him in a pub when PL first came out, like the reworked one. All he did would play it mid. Then he'd have a Spirit Breaker come and charge me every 30 seconds. Great stuff.
Really? Is that all it came down to?
Yeah, that was Dota for me in 2015.
How to win your pubs. Kira is still going to be careful. This Earthshaker is waiting for another fissure. Sorry, Miracle's going to be careful. Whack. Okay, that fissure's a little bit off target. Kudo should be pretty close to getting a kill right now. And so he's got a win run. At the same time, Jara is going to be a bloody first
blood. No,
Miracle. He's actually chased it down too far. He's still got Doppelganger available, but
no.
QO just right-clicks him. He didn't even Doppelganger for it. He
How
thought
does this
maybe
keep
coming
happening?
in. I don't know. Gyro died as well on top lane. First blood did go to first departure.
I'm sure that was a 17%.
It's a high chance.
I'm more certain of that than anything in this world, that he probably just got 17%ed, but I mean, it doesn't even matter because your mid hero just... Yes, he had help from the Earthshaker, but did he really? Like, it was just QO. He went for the kill on him. QO pops the win run and the salve at the same time. He already used the lance to get some damage in, and again, that's so rough because the enemy mid just... He got first bounty rune, he gets first blood, and PL isn't a hero where things become easier. As a laning field, because you're still a melee. Like you need absolutely to get some sort of decent start. But it just hasn't happened this game.
We're gonna go again. Okay, so if the Spirit Breaker, if the old classic thing was the Spirit Breaker charging in all the time, pick up, throw away. Cal doesn't have the mana for it. Not for because he already charged himself over to look for that light strike. They actually are running the Space Creator combo.
That's fine. That's a good combo.
Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it. As long as you can keep him up there. Yeah, but where I was going to go with that is like the fact it's like, okay, so if the combo that Miracle likes to have is having the Spirit Breaker charging towards the mid, can you get away with this? Like, what's going to happen to that top lane? Because right now, Gyro is not finding... He's actually... Sorry, I say I'm not finding much fun when he's 9 for 6. But it feels like it's very pressured on this lane. If First Departure ever want to get up in their face.
Yeah, they're going to pretty much throw a tri-lane up there too, as a result of this. But again, it's this mid lane right now that is some cause for concern right now because Miracle's having to use the lance just to get some CS. Because he actually can't step forward anymore because the Earthshaker's just there every single time now.
Actually saw that. I thought for a moment it was just a miss lance, but you're right. He's doing it for CS, not harassing QO. Because what's the point? QO's got bottle.
Exactly. You're never going to win the regen trade-off. Like, that's the first thing that he has to learn, and I mean, he's already attentive to that fact. He's like, okay, I just can't out-harass him here.
That is not yours.
Lobby was trying to keep the Earthshaker back out, but with Shackle, Doppelganger away. Evading the fissure in the Shackle.
I think if he got hit by that fissure, actually, he was dead.
Because then the power shot would have connected as well. Yeah, that would have been...
Because the Shackle would have landed, and then you can just immediately power shot, and there's no way for him to doppelwalk that. He would have been dead.
Yep. And Miracle's timing. But he's really low on mana. He's only got, well, he'll have 2 Doppelgangers out, but there's still no land spam. And what are we waiting for? This bottle to arrive for Miracle?
There's such a long period of time. If Kyo just plays the high ground game, there's not a whole lot that Miracle can do. Like, Miracle might... Okay, here's his timing. He has to get these 2 last hits.
Kai got picked up and thrown back. That was telekinesis into Feybolt. Febby also made his way up to this top lane, so he's ready for a fissure if they went to go any deeper than that. But Cal has no mana to charge at the moment. Lubby's gonna, yeah, he's gonna give him a clarity so he can actually charge away. These lanes have to change. Like, even March is finding experience on this bot lane.
You can't really aggressive tri-lane against an Earthshaker plus a Gyrocopter. You're just not going to find kills in that, right? Like, he got the first kill, yeah, but aside from that, your supports eventually have to find levels. Yep. This is not how you do it. This is not how you're going to manage to find levels right now, because your mid's already losing. The safe lane is getting pretty much the same amount of farm as the Queen of Pain, who's against a Clockwork. So it's not like these are working out, and... I mean, from what I saw last game, they really rely on getting decent lanes.
But it's just not happening again. What are we overall looking at? It's only 300 net worth to MVP. The experience is approaching more 1k. So it's a little bit more in control than the last game. But this PL is still 9-1 up against 29-10. QO has slapped Miracle down. And the fact he's got a regeneration rune to boot. He's going to win run forward. The Gyro's picked up a kill, but Miracle, Shackle, another power shot in a moment, not going to happen. So the Spirit Breaker drops down while on bottom lane, March and Fixes are basically battling it out. Kai's moved down here, and Fixes one rocket would do it. He's trying to get enough mana for it. The Battery Assault, okay, he doesn't have enough in time for it all. But 3 very low heroes for first departure. Miracle getting zoned out of middle lane. And actually, even okay, yeah, careful with Danny Dem Courier.
I mean, this is just... This continues to go rough. And... Miracle, he can't really trade farm anymore because it's not a hero like Zeus or Magnus where you have an ability that you can just spam out and trade CS and be safe. Every single time he has to use a Lance, and Lances are expensive. It's like 140 mana for each one of those suckers. And actually it's only 135. I forgot that they changed it to scale. But that's still a pretty significant investment in you. Like, you get 4 Lance spams per your mana wave. Whereas the Wind Ranger, she's going to get every single rune and pretty much just spam it against.
Pick up on Cal. He's going to charge himself away. Gets away from the second rocket. And then just stops in the river so he can turn around.
Oh, that setup in mid.
Do they actually...
They Clockwork Rocket at the same exact time as the Power Shot and the Fissure Land.
Meanwhile, on top lane, Sonic Wave, as well as the attack from Lina with the Slave, was able to do the work there.
They needed that so badly, and that's a really good pick-off, because they get the carry and one of the supports. That's huge, because they need this right now, because if you just take a look at the CS fight mid, the Wind Ranger has almost 4 times the amount of farm that the Phantom Lancer does.
This has to change. Like, this has to change. QO is now even focus firing down the tier 1 tower. But they're not fortifying for this just yet.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Now they will. But it's only halfway through the duration of the focus fire. QO will just keep going. He's got a catapult behind him and a new creep wave about to arrive too. Wind run available.
Got a haste rune too. He's just going to spam the wave out and try to take down this tower.
And he knows his physical harass damage is more than enough. Like, okay, there goes your haste rune. But gets through most of the creep wave. One more attack from the catapult. Miracle won't even make it in time to get the denial. While on bottom lane, they pick up Lobby and throw him back over the cogs. But a little bit of mana. Cal is charging himself in, jumps into March, but MP just throws down the cooldown. They're brought down the wire, but into the Rocket Barrage. No blink away. You'll have another scream for Fixes, but MP has tick charges available, picks up a double kill. He's a little bit too close to Cal, but in comes your hook shot from March. Takes it for the team and doesn't even die. The bodyguard that lives.
They don't even get anything out of this. Oh, an MP. I think he might even go for the outplay here. Like, if he actually gets close, they're actually going to go for the outplay here. Cal has to be really careful. He's going to die so fast. That's an ultra kill for MP now. Oh, that's a disaster.
Yeah, that happens.
That's so many things that could have gone wrong. Because your mid hero, like Miracle, just is playing uncharacteristic for me. Like, he even misses the deny on the mid tower that QO just like willed himself to get. Like, the fact that he was able to get that. Febby gets some space here at top. He now has his arcane boots. He's level 6. It just seems like MVP Phoenix, this might even be a better iteration than their team at TI. Like, MP just seems to fit their lineup so well with the aggression that he's able to bring repeatedly. And QO is just playing good Dota. Like, this is twice now we've seen him get solo kills on this mid lane. 2 games in a row on 2 different players. just feels like they have no answer for him right now.
I'd really love to watch this team develop. I'm hoping they get a long way through this qualifier. MVP have always been one of those fun teams to watch, be it their crazy drafts, and now you're right there. The way this team is playing is just so stable. They still have to be tested a lot more though. But the early signs are good.
Yeah, it is only the laning phase right now, and first departure, I mean, you've still got a Phantom Lancer who can scale incredibly hard, but he just hasn't had the laning phase necessary to really take the game over. Typically, we'll see Miracle just have a godly laning phase, and he parlays that into just being able to 1v5, but it's not like that quite yet. Febby even expending the Echo Slam.
Hey, he knows what could happen. Like he knows what will happen if he gets charged. He'll get Nether Strike to do a Line Strike Array enslaved, and that would basically mean death. March, hook shot, off target, fixes using the trees properly, and evades the attack. But he's still going to lose his tier 1 tower on bottom lane.
Is under attack.
Yeah, but Miracle's finally starting to get space, and you know, we talked so much about MVP Phoenix, and it's easy to do because they're dominating this early phase as well, but
you're right,
first
PL's
departure,
catching up. He's up to 3.3k net worth.
And that's the thing about Miracle, is that he just needs a little bit of room to work with, and he can really catch up and get back into the game, but
fixes.
This mid lane...
He's going to blink up. If he blinks down south, he's going to go down. He's actually being charged now by the Spirit Breaker, but they've already killed off the Queen of Pain. So Spirit Breaker's going to pull out of this charge.
What a rotation. All 5 heroes right now in this area. I don't think they're going to try to go for more, but they're just trying to get as much ground as they can by picking up map control, like all around the map at once. And it's apparent right now as they know that there are 3 heroes at this top lane, and they might actually just start TPing heroes up here in response for this. Like, if you're MVP Phoenix, you definitely want to take this fight if you can.
Well, they got the TPs ready. They've already started up. The charge is coming in on Febby. The visual fly out, which does a Miracle for now, and Cal, not the greatest position for him, but the Sonic Wave, that's going to ensure the kill into the extra charge with the Nether Strike.
Kyo's quite isolated by himself right now, but everybody's rotating in. The Winner's Curse goes on MP.
And he keeps him away from the fight only. Doesn't actually do any damage from Kuro into him. And Cal, a mini shackle just so he can go for another Rocket Barrage. And this will ensure the kill on the Spirit Breaker. It's still for 2-for-1 trade-off. They're looking for more with the hook shot down from Clockwork. Not the best positioning for it. Cal's also got Laguna Blade. Kuro should be careful, but then again, with the point booster, he's got so much life, and they will be able to find the follow-up stun. The Lion Strike Array on 3 is merely an afterthought. As the Wind Ranger power shot and the combination of the Rocket Barrage do the rest of the work.
There's so many heroes going down right now, but again, you create as much space as you can for Miracle. That fight was not that bad for them. Like, they lost 2, but they also gained 2, and it was just kind of an off-lane hero and a support for 2 supports right there, and you'll take that kind of trade at this phase of the game, because all it's enabling right now is that your Phantom Lancer continues to grind in net worth.
And do you keep making him grind, like going for like the Boots of Travel build, which is a standard one we've been seeing on the PL? Or is this when you say, you know, I got to bypass that and actually rush into something like a Diffusal Blade? So you've actually got a fighting item on that PL.
I think you go for the latest game item that you possibly can at this phase. Like, the mid game, I think, is relatively hard to salvage against MVP's lineup. Like, they've just got so much farm on their Gyrocopter especially. Like, remember, he had an 8-minute ultra kill. Like, it's hard to come back against that, especially when it's a hero like Gyrocopter. So I think if you're a first departure, you kind of have to just go for the ultra late game. Like,
which means BT's into split push.
Yeah, because the previous game, you had a Morphling that was 1 in 5. But this game, an 0-2 Phantom Lancer, he's kind of getting space around the map. Like, he's not nearly as far behind as he was last game. And if there's a player that can do it, it's Miracle.
Guy definitely knows his split pushing. But now MVP do not want to wait for it all. They bring 5 players to the top lane and start focus firing into that tier 1 tower. The really bad thing is, like, the fortification doesn't even stop the damage output they're doing, because Q-Rose focus fire lasts for so damn long. He doesn't care about this fortification. They're still going to bring down this tier 1 tower. And Miracle's trying to force the mid, but he doesn't do any real damage against this tower.
Yeah.
In fact, MVP are now going to mass TP in. It's one of the tree lines. It's March. Very close up on Miracle. Starts the battery assault. Doppelganger down for Miracle, and he actually manages to juke it and gets cogged up onto the high ground. That helps him out and isolates March in the river. They charge back in again, and with the Winter's Curse, the Fissure buys some space from Febby, but how much space? The Scream Tunnel from Heen. They need more damage. The Echo Slam well off target. MVP lose 2. First departure, what a curse.
The Phantom Lancer, okay, the thing is Miracle just sends the illusion back, and you can see the cogs in March's head turning. He's like, what do I do here? Like, do I go for...
It's got to be the real one, right?
Yeah, he's like... you can see him think about it, because he doesn't instantly throw it. He's a little bit skeptical, and he's like, how fast was Miracle on this? Because there was a small delay on it, and he has to think to himself, okay, this could be, but I'll just go for it. And then Disaster Strikes, because he pushes the Phantom Lancer up. If that doesn't happen, the call down still hits, and they might be able to turn that for a kill. But because it pushes him slightly uphill, they're not able to get it. And those are a lot of streaks that were just broken. Your Phantom Lancer, who you wanted to get the last hit, does onto MP. Like, he was the one that got 483 kill or gold for that last hit. Probably a little bit more on top of that. And all of a sudden, his net worth is really quite decent.
Yeah. Now he's got these PTs. Now he can play the split push game as well. And MVP, this 5-man force is not as simple. They've got to be a lot quicker with it. And they're not even ready to do that. They're actually going to jump in and take Roshan. QQ does find a double damage rune with Focus Fire, so Roshan is fairly simple to do. But I'm also looking at an Earthshaker where, like, he's not going to sell all of his items and buy a Blink Dagger. He's just never going to buy any of them. He has Arcane Boots and that's all. And then goes into the Blink.
He can jungle for the rest of his Blink, and he's so close to it right now. And MVP, they're just getting aggressive all along the watches. They're going to 5-man smoke into the jungle. Might even run into a few heroes and be able to take down this tier 2 as they know for a fact that Kai's there. And March is actually going to get revealed.
He needs a hookshot line. He doesn't have any vision. March is trying to find one. Now he'll find Lobby. Cure. Still with so much damage to that Focus Fire.
It's okay though, because Miracle just continues to farm and he's chipping away at this lead as he's only 500 gold behind that gyrocopter now.
Hero still wants, like, they're still going to be taking objectives MVP. So yes, PL is getting farm, but he's still losing control of this map. Like, without the split push, without the creep wave momentum, he doesn't have anything as he loses these outer buildings. And now the Blink Dagger over on the Earthshaker, Phoebe's going to have some counter initiation to work with. Actually going to charge. That was aggressive. Especially after the homing missile went down. Heen's going to come up to that top lane as well. Into the call down. Kai's waiting for him. And Cal might decide to turn this one. Lifestriker Ray Laguna Blade. Heen actually surviving through it and be able to pick up Kai. Drops down. The Phantom Lancer throws out the lance to ensure one of the kills. That's over on the Rubik. While the Echo Slam committal from Febby finds his kill. Over on the Lina. And Miracle's just out. He gets one pick off and he backs out.
Could have been a lot worse though, and Miracle again getting the last hit onto a hero. He's dangerously close to this gyrocopter who is pretty beefed up due to the tower kills and the Roshan as well, and he's still only like 100 odd net worth behind him. And you can close that distance quite quickly, but QO, he's going for the pick off at bottom, but Kai...
Nice doppelganger with a charge in from Cal. QO's gonna be pushed back for the moment. March is still trying to help out. He's gonna hookshot into Miracle, isolates him with the cogs, but with Fixers also arriving, the Sonic Wave, he wants to line it up, but actually dies before he can. The Aegis model will now trigger for the Wind Ranger. She comes back to life. They charge straight through her into March, but a shackle shot over on Miracle. He needs to get the last hit. He can't do it. Where is it? There it is. Wind Ranger, and she can't even get that. The leader will end the streak. Miracle will survive on 53. He got stunned up for so long that he was actually able to doppelganger away. And there was nothing Wind Ranger could do. They're going to pick up Cal, dragging him back to March's cogs, but March isn't a healthy man either.
If he didn't get that bash onto that Wind Ranger at that moment right there, that was a kill 100% on the Phantom Lancer. Like, Miracle was dead. He just needed one hit. But he couldn't get it because he just kept getting bashed. Oh, everything that could be going wrong is going wrong right now.
Febby barely survives. He was TPing out of that one. Cal on very low life was charging in. He just needed the charge to connect. Now Heen, with his own charge, picks up Kai. He could have put him on the cliffside then. Decides just let him fall normally, and Kai's going to punish him for it. Heen, 2 attacks and Laguna Blade. It's all he requires. Kuro's on the way to try and get some sweet, sweet revenge, but he won't latch the shackle. But he knows Kai's already expended most of his nukes, so he just has to focus fire him down, and there's the work. Wind Ranger will take the kill.
I blow you a kiss.
5-1 and 3, but at the same time, this Phantom Lancer just starts to creep ahead and ahead, and man, that bottom kill, if they were able to get that on the Phantom Lancer, that would have made such a big difference. Like, that would have slowed down all of this momentum that's happening right now, and Kyo might not have even died as a result of that. Like, Miracle taking up so much of his attention there, the Spear Breaker with that bash, and at the same time, MP, his farm progression is slowed down quite a lot. He doesn't have ancient stacks to go with it because they've just been playing so aggressively throughout the entire map right now.
What do you think about his build as well? It looks like he put his S and Y on hold. It's just like, you know what? I need to have a BKB during these fights.
I think he thought about it. He's like, is this actually going that badly? What do I really need to get back in? But I think this is okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Can't do it anyway. He's going to need it once that Orchid's up and running for the quad, which it is now. So you get Orchid quad. They throw down the sentry ward and get rid of the obs of Dire's side.
I think they're looking up.
Spirit Breaker's actually on his way to a BKB too. He's already walking around with 1500 life.
Oh, for sure. This game is all of a sudden looking really decent for first departure. The laning phase was pretty disastrous, and at one point they were down more than 5,000 gold, but now the lead is cut down to 2,500. And more importantly, in games like this, experience is a large determining factor. They're not even that far behind in this, and Kyo again misses with a gank. Miracle just continues to explode the map, and he's got a Diffusal Blade to go along with his Boots of Travel, so now you've got some damage on him as well.
Now you've actually got fighting as well as split push. Kai, trouble for him. Gonna get shot to a tree and then power shot down by the Wind Ranger. The rest of MVP want more, and they need the line. Where is that Clockwork? He's already used hook shot, so he can't chase down. But they'll see Fixes move up north, and QO try and chase after him. But the blink into the tree line is too quick. Cooldown's off target, so Fixes will be fine. And you lost Alina, sure, but Miracle, it keeps farming. It keeps pushing.
Oh, the charge is coming on to Heen too, and I don't know if Heen's going to have enough time to react to this, but it doesn't look like Cal wants to continue to go for that, and this is going to mean a tier 2 tower. MVP are saying to themselves, we have to slow down the pace of this game.
They're gonna fight this. There's your curse on the Jara. There's
MP
a BT in BL right now. MVP so low, the shackle not creating enough space from QO. They just want to escape. Quick blinks and the defensive cogs from March. A TP out. Miracle will see him, but they're not in range for stuns. Heen's out as well. QO, maybe not so lucky, starts to TP under the cover of
oh,
he gets in time, gets the charge off. The fissure from Febby
he's gonna get
coming,
more too.
And now Orchid, a diffusal charge used on Febby as well. He just can't run fast enough. 3 players down for MVP in first departure. Momentum is their name, and they can gain it right now.
And all of a sudden, the Phantom Lancer, top net worth in the game. This is just the Miracle factor. He was more than like 3,000, 4,000 behind for the majority of this game. Had probably one of the worst mid-starts I've seen in quite some time, but it doesn't matter with this guy. Like, he just finds a way to win with these types of heroes.
It's just that scenario now where, like, if he had this with the Morphling, the same could have happened in game 1. Like, if you had such great engagements and stronger laning phase with the Morphling, would be in a very similar position. Split push it up, become powerful during the fights. The PL is obviously a very unique character. But, man, he's just going to push forward, and MVP have to do something about this. If they want to take this 2-0, they have to do something about this now.
He's top when it comes to experience, too, in the game. The Gyrocopter, he has nothing, to be realistic about it. At the same time, he's only level 11. He's decided to go for that tech switch back into the BKB. And he's just gotten so steadily far behind right now. Like, he hasn't found any outlets to get any sort of farm. At the same time, first departure, they're punishing him in every single fight that you're seeing so far. They charge into him, they use the Winter's Curse. The Queen of Pain is right there with enough burst damage to nuke him down. And with this Orchid too, Fixers has got enough damage to pretty much one-shot most of the heroes on MVP if they're left isolated.
But I really love this part of Miracle's build when he goes for the PL. It gets boots into Diffusal, and then goes Blink Dagger. After this point, like, he varies his next item a little bit, but he goes later into the Bash or Abyssal.
Oh,
he actually
QO.
plans for late game, and yeah, QO's in so much trouble. Orchided, and then just burnt to the world.
Fixers was so patient with that. The reason why QO didn't think about that is because nobody had shown themselves in that area, and Fixers actually had blinked up, so he figured that the Queen of Pain had gone out already, and he was just waiting. Like, that entire time he was just waiting for Miracle to come back in.
The first departure actually in a position now where they're probably going to find a better trade-off as far as lane pushing. The bottom lane's going in, the middle lane's going in. They waited for Miracle to TP. This time it's MVP who sets the trap, and they will find that pick-off. PL down for a minute, but the support's coming in from Cal. Hookshot cancelling off the Nether Strike. So if he wants to get away, four-staffing up, and now MP with a call down, but the curse, it locks down the gyrocopter. They need more space at the moment, and he's able to get it moving back, leaving a rocket behind to make sure Cal can't just charge, but Kai right behind him. He's going to get it. They have to kill him off quickly, and they do. MP.
Oh, and at the same time, Lobby goes down to everybody from first departure.
This is not how they were meant to keep their momentum. Even a 4-star forward from March, actually locking in Cal. The Lion Strike Array, which he installed before, controls up Cal. The Shackle flies in too. They lose the whole kit and caboodle first departure.
What just happened? The first departure just completely dominate for the next 10 minutes of the game. They find the pick off on the Windranger, and MVP say, screw it, we don't even need our highest net worth hero in the game. We're just going to outplay them left, right, and center. The Winner's Curse even hit the Gyrocopter, who at that point was at like 200 HP, but he just continues to get the outplay. Almost a tier 1 going down as well. Fixers is looking for the rebuttal, but QO is just getting the hell out of there. Nobody nearby enough, and everything just starts to turn around now for MVP.
First departure have to slow things down. Everything has to slow down. Get back to the split push. Get back to Miracle farming. Get back to MVP wondering, like, where do they find the advantage? Like, have them rotate more. For QO, like, he's feeling so confident. He's just walked into Roshan. Like, he's just taken the big man out by himself. He's just wind run to evade for a little bit, then he'll bottle charge back up again. He might want a little bit of help. It looks like March's going to come down to grant that. So March can tank for him.
This is what momentum does for you, Toby. Like, all of a sudden, everything just kind of turns around.
They tried to use Cog to space out Roshan, and instantly QO gets stunned. It's like, well, space was created, but space was not used.
Oh, man. First departure have to be kicking themselves. They have to be asking themselves, where did it all go wrong? Because they clawed their way back into this game with almost near-perfect team fights in the mid-game. And then all of a sudden, I mean, that was about as complete of an outfight or outplay as you're going to get in a team fight. And first departure, I mean, they're still in this as Miracle is still #1 when it comes to net worth. He's got a ton of farm following him too. He's got that ultimate orb to go along with his items. So you've got a lot of stats on him too. This is a very momentum-based build. Like, that Blink Dagger is meant for you to chase and get ahead.
Dire's top tower is under
now
attack.
it's just being used as evasion instead. It's problematic to say the least.
Dire's structures are
Gyro finishes up his SMY and now MVP.
Dire's top tower
They prepare
is
for the
under
T2 tower, and first departure know they can't fight this one. Like, if they come forward, like, it has to be with so much confidence, and doing that up against a Blink Dagger Echo Slam with call down, potential shackle control. Like, even the split push didn't work in time. Cal's waiting for a TP back to defend the tier 2 tower. And it's not coming. MVP want to go high ground. They're the ones with immortality. They're the ones with the Aegis of the Immortal. You may have a fresh PK front Fixers, which would be nicer for him during this fight. But QO on the front lines finds Lobby. They four-star him down. There's your cooldown. Cal charging out the Sonic Wave. It takes out the Windranger and the Gyrocopter. The second life coming up for the Windranger. He's already lost the Earthshaker in that time of death. And the Winter's Curse isolates QO. They need him dead. Lion Strike Array will help them to do it. That's going to be a triple kill coming in for Fixers. The charge forward, he not able to escape. The only one out is March, and this time first departure punish MVP.
I'm so surprised that QO was that aggressive. He had 200 HP when he went high ground like that. Like, he just took so much free damage, and at the same time, March's hook, it looked like it got batted away by the Spirit Breaker charging in, and nothing went right for them there. Like, everything that could have gone right for FD did. QO walks up into the high ground. They overcommit for a Winter Wyvern who they don't even manage to bring down. And I mean, this is just such a back and forth game.
They might just have the mentality, if we remove the curse, we win the fight.
bottom tower
But,
has fallen.
I mean, that's fine, but you're using an Aegis just to take out Lubby, who doesn't even die? Like, that wasn't even a good position for them to work around. That Queen of Pain now finally eclipses QO and the Gyrocopter, and the net worth swings, they just go way down, start to go up again, then back down the other way. They're just trading 5k net worths.
It's team wipes. They're just trading team wipes. It's every single time. And it's not even though like we're looking at stacks. Like MP now has a triple stack of Dire Ancients, which you can take later on. But he actually needs to focus on that because Miracle is pushing out the top lane. Fixes with his Invis runes walking right next to Febby. Luckily for Fixes, there's no gem, there's no detection. But Febby blinks himself away and then reveals where Marsh is as well. Marsh just defensive cogs it. They don't want to be part of this one. While Doppelganger, Miracle, pick him up, throw him on the cliffside. Not going to happen. They just keep chasing. Him with the lance. He's going to be thrown in. 4-stars up. He'll survive. The Illusion Phantom rushes in. Is that even really like an ability on Illusions? They can do it. I know it's there, but it's just not. Just doesn't seem right. Either way, Rubik is dead to the world. And that's 21-21 as everyone disengages. Apart from maybe MP, who now finds Lubby. Lubby blinks himself away to safety.
And in that fight too, you saw Miracle, just with 200, 300 HP, able to survive, do a lot of damage in that fight, and his gold, 3,200 on him. The Gyrocopter is nowhere near the farm that he needs to be able to battle either. Like, this is a mid-game build, going for the BKB and that SNY. This build is meant for you to be able to fight. This isn't one of those, we're going to be able to contest a 6-slotted PL late-game builds.
Blinking forward to try and catch up to Cal. QO is there. He can only go for a mini stun. Didn't have the right line for it. Now gonna get cursed. Febby needs to make space for QO, but he can't do it. QO really trying to get over aggressive and was not expecting the rest of First Departure to be there. Which, considering they have a ward down, they should have seen it coming. Now Febby blinks away. It's a real rough position for MVP.
It's just so hard for them to kill anybody at this point. They've got a lot of different items on First Departure to be able to survive. Their magic burst damage isn't that high, Toby, so the Cold Embrace on the Winter Wyvern is able to block out a lot of the damage, and you're just seeing the mobility kind of work so hard against MVP right now. Like the Blink of the Queen of Pain, they don't have enough lockdown because the Earthshaker's always caught out. This is not how they're meant to take fights, and meanwhile Miracle just he has a fully completed Scotty now too. Team fights have just gotten 10 times harder for your MVP.
Yeah. This is now getting to a point where they have to hit their Hallelujah combo or just get some just solid pick-offs, double shackles, kill after kill. Like QO is just desperately trying to finish up this BKB of his. So even if they do just find one hero isolated, if they do find like the PL isolated with their Skadi, he's fairly tanky to get through, and you don't really have enough damage from QO to deal with that right now. And the damage from the Gyrocopter isn't really there either. He's getting there. He's got 3.4k gold. But this is also that toss-up. Do I get my damage now, or do I save for buyback, knowing that you don't have the advantage in the next fight?
I think you just get your item right now and...
QO. He's trying on Lubby. And then the Cold Embrace. QO's not having a bar of it. He lets it go. Kai was coming up behind as well.
That's a really bad position to be in when obviously the Cold Embrace is a natural counter to the Wind Ranger, but the fact that she can't really be able to pick off anybody with the items that she has is rough. And when's the last time we've seen QO really pick up a major item? Like, he got that Aghanim so quickly, like 14-15 minutes. That Blink Dagger is not an expensive item. It's quite cheap, and her BKB has just really fallen off. Like, at one point we saw QO at 5-0, and now he's 6-5 since then.
Things have definitely turned around, not for the favorable for MVP, but First Departure, they're loving it. The Observer Ward of MVP will be scouting out the fact that all 3 First Departure heroes are falling back. And this will probably also be because MVP is missing everyone on the map apart from QO. It looks like bait. And they're not going to bite First Departure. They hide in the tree lines. MP actually just slipping past. The rocket actually reveals him. Queen of Pain, hook shot him. They need to keep that stuns. The Colt pushing it back with the Echo Slam. They bring down the Queen of Pain. That was quick, and at the very end of their smoke, they make it work. They're actually going to try and... Yeah, this charge is coming in. Heen 4-stars himself up. Febby, there's no mana for a Fissure, but he blinks himself up so he can Glimmer Cape onto Heen, where the dust is available. They get the reveal. It's also 1-for-1 trade-off, maybe even a little bit more. Jara going down as Miracle just keeps that charge going after QO this time, as well as MP. March TP out, not in time. This is going from bad to worse. This can even be a mid-racks right now if they want to take it. Febby getting stunned up. Everyone's dead for MVP. First departure. They're in such a commanding position. They just go for top. Why not? The creep wave's already in, and there's no buybacks for MVP available.
Miracle's just so huge right now. He almost has a fully completed MKB to go along with everything that he has. MVP, they just don't have enough in them in the fight game. They just don't have enough burst damage to kill anybody on first departure. They get the quick cleanup kill on the Queen of Pain, but that BKB Spirit Breaker just rolls through all of them. There's actually so little that they can do to stop him in these fights, and we're seeing that right now. And then on top of that, Miracle he just continued to farm this entire game. He just waited it out, saw his opportunities, and he's like, okay, the laning phase was disastrous. Like, let's get that out of the way. Let's just focus on continuing to create space for myself, and eventually I can swing the momentum the other day, and he has.
Dire's middle tower is under
They've done a great job. And because of it, now they get to roll on the money. And Hagen Scepter for Lina is very, very close, only 200 gold away. When you have Link already for Wyvern, in fact, that's an Aghanim's already coming in for the Queen of Pain. On the back of an Orchid and BKB, like, it's everything you want coming into first departure. But at the same time, even with a 14,000 net worth advantage, which is what they've got, and almost a 17,000 experience advantage, it's looking great for first departure. But we've seen swings already. We've seen mistakes from both sides. We can't count this game out just yet. Even if I'm not seeing the damage I was searching for with the Jari, he's actually building a butterfly instead on MP. After the Monkey King bar has already been done. He started it before the Monkey King bar was done. Miracle just obviously saw the Eagle song.
Yeah, and this is going to mean a lot because this counters both heroes. Like, this takes the Gyrocopter and the Wind Ranger out. And if you thought the Phantom Lancer lacked damage, well, now he's got an MKB to go along with his amazing amount of stats. I mean, life is good right now for Miracle because he has to feel so confident now. Like, think about how that last game, or the laning phase went in the previous game and this one as well. Everything went terribly. Still manages to pick it up. Doesn't even matter.
And MVP can't even cut a break with Roshan. He's almost a max spawn time for him. Fury just wanted to jump in here, take Roshan, and move on. But now first departure. They smoke up. That was a Splinter Blast thrown into the mid-wave just to push it up. That might have revealed the fact they are coming. And MVP, they break the smoke on Cal. Now Kai, BKB from Fix. It's a big Sonic Wave catching out 3. They've already got a 1-1 trade-off here, but Miracle in the thick of it, and so many miracles there. The Echo Slam hits from Febby, buys some space, but MP being cursed up. They're too controlled. There's no way they can win this fight anymore, MVP. First departure looking brilliant, and there it is. GG is the call. First departure in just shy of 40 minutes. Is going to force us into a third game against MVP to see who will stay and who will go in the ESL One Qualifier.
I mean, when you saw the first 10 minutes of this game, you thought, okay, MVP is just going to have a repeat performance, but first departure, I mean, they were just relentless with trying to get back into this game. I thought their Spirit Breaker especially played this game brilliantly. Like, he was everywhere. Just a really disruptive presence in these fights, always got his charge off.